Have you ever been scrolling through your phone and then, for no real reason, you just feel a little bit off? It's this tiny, subtle shift, but it's there. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible process that causes that exact feeling. We're talking about why your brain is literally hardwired to compare you to other people most of the time without you even noticing. Let's dig in and see how it really works.
So it all starts with something super simple. You're just observing. You catch a glimpse into someone else's world. Could be a friend, a coworker, or a total stranger online. It's just a snapshot of their life. Seems pretty harmless, right?
But here's the thing. You're not just passively watching. Your brain immediately starts to zero in on the specifics, their progress, their accomplishments, the results they're getting. You know, the promotion they just announced, that cool new skill they learned, that amazing vacation photo. Every single one is a little piece of data.
And then boom, in less than a second, a switch just flips. Before you even have a chance to think about it, a comparison is made. You didn't decide to do it. Your brain just did it.
And that right there is the key. It feels completely automatic, like a reflex you can't control. You didn't plan it, you certainly didn't ask for it, but all of a sudden your whole perspective has shifted. So what is actually going on in your head at that moment?
Okay, so the very first thing we need to get straight is that this isn't about you not having enough willpower or something. This is about the fundamental wiring of your brain.
Look, your brain's main job, its core programming, is to help you survive. And to do that, it's constantly scanning and evaluating your surroundings to figure out where you fit in. It's a really primal thing. So this comparison, it's just a super fast assessment that happens way before your conscious mind can step in and go, hey, hold on a second.
So if this whole thing is happening on autopilot, what's the point? Well, it turns out your brain is on a constant search for one crucial thing: context.
To have any idea how you're doing, in your career, in your hobbies, in life, your brain needs some kind of measuring stick. And what's the quickest, easiest measuring stick it can find? Yep, other people. They become your reference points, helping your brain build a quick map of where you are and how you're doing.
So you see, this little three-step process is just running in the background all the time. Your brain observes what other people are doing, it uses that to get some context, to ask, am I on the right track? And then it evaluates you. It's basically a built-in GPS system. But what happens when that GPS is getting bad data?
And this is where we get to the single biggest issue in our modern world, the thing that throws this whole natural process out of whack: the highlight reel illusion.
Think of it like this. What we see from other people is just the tip of the iceberg. We see the polished achievement, the perfect final product, the happy moment. But what we don't see is everything under the surface. The years of hard work, the moments of crippling doubt, all the struggle that went into it. So you're essentially comparing your raw, behind-the-scenes footage to their perfectly edited movie trailer.
And that right there is the problem. When your brain does that automatic evaluation, it's working with totally unfair data. It's trying to compare your everyday reality to someone else's curated best moments. The math is completely broken from the start, and honestly, it's a comparison you can just never win.
This massive imbalance has a really direct but often invisible effect on how we feel about our own lives. It creates what you could call a constantly moving target for what good enough even means.
Let me show you what I mean. Maybe last year, you made some great progress. Let's say you hit a 50 on some scale. And your standard for what felt like good was about a 60. You felt pretty solid. But as you keep seeing more and more of other people's highlight reels, your internal standard for success just quietly creeps up, and now it's at a 90. Your progress is still there, but suddenly the goalpost has been moved so far away you can barely see it.
And this is that feeling that's so hard to put your finger on. That satisfaction you had, it just seems to vanish. The progress you actually made starts to feel like nothing. Not because it is nothing, but because the ruler you're using to measure it has been completely distorted by this constant stream of everyone else's wins.
Now, if this whole thing is starting to feel intensely familiar, it's for a very good reason. It is not just you. This is not some kind of personal failure. The truth is, we are all living inside a system that is perfectly designed to send this comparison engine into complete overdrive.
I mean, just think about our digital world for a second. It's a nonstop fire hose of information, giving us constant visibility into other people's lives. We're just flooded with this endless supply of reference points, which means that automatic comparison mechanism in our brain gets triggered over and over and over again.
And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. The system we live in makes comparing ourselves effortless. And because it's so easy, it becomes incredibly frequent. And when something is that frequent, it just starts to feel normal. It becomes the background noise of life that we don't even think to question anymore. So the most important thing to take away from all of this is really a shift in how you see it. You don't compare yourself to other people because you want to feel bad. You do it because your brain is running a very old survival program, a program that's just trying to figure out your place in the world. The only problem is, it's running that ancient software in a totally unnatural modern environment. And in this environment, the process becomes faster, more frequent, and way less accurate, until comparison feels like a reflex you never even realized you had.